Hi, I'm Juliet Harvey, Executive Director of Pennybaker TV, and I'm glad to have Mike Currier, the Executive Director of the Skatepark of Plymouth, with us today, and he's going to show us around the skate park and tell us what's going on. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me. This is good to get any kind of advertising we can to see what's going on in town. I think that a lot of people drive by here, and we've got a lot of kids using the place, but not everybody knows what's happening or what's going to be happening in the near future.
Can you tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here for people who don't skateboard?
Well, it's a place where maybe their kids are. I think everybody knows a skateboarder. It's a pretty popular sport. Kids of all ages, and we have young adults that come here and participate. But it's a good place for the kids to congregate and hang out. I mean, there have been times when I come down here and there's 7 or 8 junior high kids just sitting with their legs over the bowl. They're not skating or anything, but they're hanging out. They got a place that's safe, that's relatively open, and it's a place where they can congregate and have some fun and not have the watchful eye of an adult over them. They kind of like that independence. But it's a place where kids can come do something that's a healthy sport. I know that skateboarding and skateboarders sometimes have a rap of being not the best kids in the world, but I think if they were to come down here and witness what they actually do when they're here, they'd find out they're just like any other kid. They just have a different passion, different interest. And the park is great because it's really the first thing in Plymouth that has been put together for teenagers and older youth. I mean, we have great programs for the young kids in town, and we have our organized sports and whatnot, but a lot of people don't get involved in organized sports, nor do they want to. And this is more of an kind of an independent, creative scenario where they can come and learn how to get better and try their skills. It's the flip side of the snowboarding season, so it's a way for them to keep their chops, and it's just a good, safe place where kids are doing something that's positive.
Speaking of that, what exactly was the catalyst for you to get this program started? Project.
Well, I had thought about it a long time ago, and I had done some research, and then there's some other folks in town who decided they wanted to put one together, and I was happy to give them information I had, but they were the ones that initially, Glenda Toomey was involved in that, I think Steve Rand, then Matt Eddy and his girlfriend Lee came into town. They had the board shop in town, and they got involved getting a petition, getting things started. They did the corporate paperwork part of it. They raised a little bit of money, and then I was approached by Glenda to see if I'd be interested in taking it over, and because I'd always kind of thought it was a good thing to do and be great for the area, I said sure. But and at that point in time, I was able to get various friends, people that I know in the professional world around here, in construction world, and it started to happen. We started having fundraisers. We raised more money. We got some help from the CGSB for some financing, and the first phase became a reality, which was pretty incredible to actually see it go from just a dirt area that didn't have much value to something that actually has a lot of value.
You were one of the few with concrete.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why there's not a lot more concrete parks is it's expensive, and that's what's held us back from expanding more sooner. So there's the wood parks. I mean, Meredith has one down there that's great, but unfortunately they can't keep it open all the time because of restraints with financial restraints for the town, and a lot of towns are facing the same thing. Waterville Valley is a nice park. They do a lot of great things. They have camps up there. I've sent kids up there to the camps, but it's in Waterville Valley. I mean, this is the location here is right off 93. We're centered. Kids are coming from all over the state to skate the park and out of state. We had a friend of Pat Moore's, who's a pretty well-known snowboarder, flew up from Washington, D.C. with a friend of his. He works for the Department of Defense, and flew up here just to skate the park because he'd heard about it and then talked to Pat about it. So
this is the main feature.
The bowl, yes. The bowl cost us about $35,000 to build. It was one of the more expensive pieces of the park, but it was also one of the bigger draws that makes us a little different.
This here is the usual feature you see. I don't know much about parks, but
right.
I don't know what that's called either.
Well, that's a smaller half pipe, and that is made of wood, and we put that in there to increase usage here at the park. Actually, Plymouth State University, the board club there, which is made up of snowboarders and skateboarders, have just come on board. We have one of Nick Doucette is the treasurer of the board club, and he's on our board of directors for the skate park, and they have been just tremendous in their assistance and what they brought the energy and whatnot they brought in. This piece over there that we just saw was donated by the board club because they had used one that wasn't repaired, and they repaired it, and they paid for all the costs and set it up. It's probably tripled our ability to put skaters in the park since we've had it, and we're going to plan to do some other things maybe with wood until we have enough money to add concrete. But we will be adding concrete at some level in the spring, depending on how much money we have. Right now we have about $3,000 that we can sink into concrete alone, and we have more monies that are coming in all the time, and with our fundraisers to increase that.
And you have a fundraiser and an event coming up in April.
We do. Actually, we have on March 17th. We have we have the one in April as well, but the one in March is our St. Patty's Day dinner at the Country Cow. It's going to be an Irish boiled dinner with Irish music, and it's going to be wine and beer. $35 for the wine, $30 for the beer dinner. It's a 4-course meal, and we're going to put that on, which will be a great fundraiser. In conjunction with that, we're going to have a silent auction, which we'll do over the internet as well. And then in April, the end of April or the beginning of May, we're going to have a combination skate jam and graffiti battle. And we have a graffiti we have a graffiti park here as well.
Over here, and Forrest, if you swing around and get some shots of this.
Yeah, well, the graffiti artists that come in here, and again, they come here from, I've met kids that have come from Nashua, have come from Guilford, we have local artist, Rico Semperbaum, who works at Biederman's, and he's a phenomenal artist and has some of his work there. And initially, these stanchions here were to hold oil tanks back in the 40s and 50s.
I read that, yeah.
And the trucks would come in and they would get the oil and they would go deliver it. So with these here, I noticed when we first came down here that kids were tagging it, putting things on there. And I thought, well, geez, I spent some time in East LA when I was about 23 and saw a lot of artwork. And I thought, why not? And the kids refer to these as free walls because they can't get arrested for using them. They're here for that purpose.
This is fabulous.
It's incredible. Yeah. It's really incredible. And we have this graffiti battle, which we'll have 19 contestants that will register, and they will do their work while the skate jam is going on in the end of April. And we'll choose the top 3 and have a paint-off with the 3 sides that we leave open. Sherwin-Williams has agreed to donate all the paint, which is just phenomenal.
Spray paint, I assume?
Spray paint, and initially you have to whitewash in order to paint your
canvas. Yeah.
So, and the way that works is that each artist will get 5 colors, all the same colors. They'll get one theme word, whatever that might be. It could be peace, calm, anything you want it to be, creativity, whatever you want it to be. And that has to be brought into the creation that the artist provides. So it's pretty cool, and if you go on YouTube, you can see these things. Golden Cape Park does one of these every year, which is huge. So we hope to make this an annual event, and it'll be going on at the same time as the skate jam, so we're going to draw more people with varied interests, and we're looking to do some other things in the area.
We'll have to come back for that event, certainly.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
This is great. Well, we've got some skaters over here right now.
Yeah.
This looks like the beginning. This half pipe is...
Hey, guys. They're high school students.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And actually,
you know them.
And actually, those kids, the 3 of them are on our. We have a steering committee from the high school. We have seven kids who have come on board with us to help us with their ideas, their thoughts, help with fundraising, clean up, things like that. So we're trying to get the kids that are truly involved and the users of the park to be part of that, which is always the ideal. We are a private nonprofit. We do not cost the town a dime.
You have a GoFund site for fundraising. You've raised quite a bit already. I stopped by there earlier today.
Yeah, we have a GoFundMe account, which you can look at that. Our goal is $10,000. We've raised just about $2,000 so far in that.
Because there is insurance that you have to buy, obviously, right?
Right. Being a private nonprofit, if we want to have an unsupervised park, which we felt was most advantageous for our situation, since we're all volunteers, nobody receives any kind of money for anything we do here, that would be the best way to go. But it costs us $10,000 a year to keep the park open and free to the kids. So we have to do that fundraising on a yearly basis. And then above and beyond that, we've raised $110,000 since we started this operation. But $40,000 has gone to insurance. So we've gotten a lot of donation. Rich Gowan I'd like to mention because he's our groundwork guy, and he's gotten so many different businesses in town to help out when it came to all the prep work before this was built. Came through him. He probably saved us, with those kind folks from the various businesses around town, saved us around $40,000 alone.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Group effort.
Yeah. Well, I like to think that this is what communities should do and how they should be. The byline is a little bit of effort by a lot of people makes great things happen, and I think this is an example of that, and I want to keep that going. So we're continually asking people, you don't have to donate $100 or $500. You can donate $20 or $10. But if you have 1,000 people donating $20 a piece, you've got $20,000, and that's just how it works. And we're going to continue to add as we can to the park in concrete, and ultimately it will be a finished park that will be concrete with a permaculture border landscaping.
And of course this art gallery here.
There'll be this. We're also looking at BMX pump track. We're looking at remote control gas-powered race car track. We're looking at a small playground. So we've got
so that the mothers who come with their
absolutely.
Yes, that's a big draw. I know mothers who have various aged kids, and they're eager to. The older ones are eager to come out here. And we've got some high school students over here. This is a rail and a box. Am I right about that?
The box is the first thing down here with the red. The next thing, it's ramp to ramp, is what the guys are on right now. At the very end, it's a quarter pipe. And I knew none of this stuff 4 years ago, I can tell you right now, and I still don't know much. But those are some of the features. And the features to be added will be a large half pipe with a horseshoe back that'll come out into a snake run along with the front of the park, and that will dump out into street features. And then down towards the very end where the guys are right now and the quarter pipe, we're going to make that a big flat area where young kids and beginners can learn and progress their way through to becoming bowl riders.
Great. Not for the faint of heart. Well, it's great to see the kids using the park all times of the day as I drive by here, and thanks very much for joining us, Mike.
Well, thanks for the opportunity, and I hope that folks that see this realize that we don't need a lot from any one person. A little will be helpful, and anybody that has suggestions, ideas, and thoughts for fundraising, we're always open to that, and this will happen. It's just going to take some time, and the more folks we get on board, the sooner it gets done.
I've been using the park for about 2 years because I've lived here all my life. I love it here. The half pipe is sort of new, so I've been using that for long, but the park has helped me progress a lot.
Warren from Plymouth, and she's been kind enough to let us film her boys. The boys have scooters, not skateboards. And how old are they?
They are 9 years old.
9, both of them?
Both in
Twins?
4th grade, yes.
Oh, great. And they must love the park.
Yes, they are having a ball.
How did you discover the park? You said this is only your second time here?
Right, I've driven by it many times and finally pulled in to check it out. I think it's wonderful that we have this here in Plymouth.